Nail or beauty school was just the beginning, right? What on earth do you do now? Welcome to the Salon Success Podcast with Monaco Nail Academy. Our topics stretch beyond nails and into all things salon related, business, marketing, and social media, and at the very least hits you with real, honest stories about our experiences. This isn't school, this is real life, real business, and really freaking hard work. Before we get started wherever you are, thumbs up, tag a friend in the comments, or hit that share button and support small business. Hey guys, Penny here from Monaco Nail Academy, and today I'm joined by Mel.
Hey.
And we've got Sheena here.
Hey.
And we're actually going to be talking about Sheena's business, the Doll's House. Is it the Doll's House Nail Studio?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And doing some more like focused attention on a single person salon and seeing what the three of us can come up together for 2025. So, Mel, do you want to chuck an affiliate code in here before we get stuck in?
Sure. So just as usual, you can use my affiliate code, which is Jungle Nails, and that'll get you 10% off any Monaco courses. I do get a little kickback from that. So thank you if you use my code.
Sheena, do you have an affiliate code?
I think I do, but it's been so long since I used it that I can't remember what it is. I think it's the Doll's House.
So you can try the Doll's House, and then when it doesn't work, you can go back to Jungle Nails.
It's Doll's House. It is Doll's House.
Okay, cool. So either Jungle Nails or Doll's House. And before we get stuck into chatting about the Doll's House, Mel, fill us in on what last week's episode was about.
Last episode, which was the first one of the year, hello 2025, we were talking about our goals for the year and steps we can take to get there, and then what's our major goal for the year that's going to make 2025 feel like a win. So there was lots of varying ones between all of us. What's one goal you want to achieve this year, Sheena?
To get started, I've been procrastinating for a long time, waiting for that magical moment when everything is perfect and the stars have aligned, and then when that's happened, I will start my business. But I can't keep doing that. I want to go into 2025 with my business up and running. So I think my big goal at the moment is to get my salon's identity under control, understand my avatars, and get my socials in check and sort of understand what I'm doing, I think is the big thing. We've got the training underway, well, done basically. Just need to get this other stuff done.
Nice. You can't wait for that when something happens, and we've talked about it in podcasts and stuff like that. Just take the leap, get on with it. So yeah, let's go.
I've been waiting 3 years. It's time to stop.
Yeah, it's never going to be perfect time. So let's go. Yeah. Let's get into it.
Yeah, done is better than perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So tell us about your current situation. You've got a space, right? Tell us about that.
Yeah. So I've got a cool little cabin, which is the Doll's House. And this is kind of where the whole 3-year delays come from. It was purchased 3 years ago. It's been sitting on foundations up in the air in our place for 3 years, unable to be used while I did my training and waited for everything to align. That space has now made it to the ground as of the weekend and is now actually looking like a salon and is a workable space and something I'm quite proud of. But now I just need to move forward with that. So it's starting to take on an identity, but I just need to keep growing it.
And so you're working full-time in a separate job, right?
I am at the moment, yeah.
So what would be your goal for what would a fully booked Doll's House look like?
For me, at the moment, I'm kind of in a limbo phase with my role where I'm trying to sort of back out of full-time work and ease into just having a life. I've done that whole 14-hour day for someone else type thing, and I just want something for me now. So for me at the moment, the initial would be maybe a couple of late nights a week, maybe some early starts. I quite like early starts in the morning, so I'm hoping to be able to open up some spots nice and early before we all go to work. Bit of weekend work because I'm usually around at the weekends anyway. It's kind of what it looks like to start with anyway.
So we're thinking maybe 12 hours a week?
Yeah, to start with.
Roughly? Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Would you eventually want to move into doing it full time in your ideal world, or would you like to keep it as a side hustle?
I'm kind of undecided about that because I'm conscious. So I live in quite a small area where I am. I mean, Blenheim's not huge itself, but Renwick, the little town that I'm in, we've got quite a few nail techs in really close proximity. I didn't realize until I started really researching. I've literally got two houses down the road from me. And one's 5 minutes walk from me, another's 10 minutes walk from me. And we've just had this, I guess, a little bit of drama play out down here where someone's socials were a little bit too similar to one of the other techs and it all just blew up. And so I'm conscious that there's only going to be so many people in the area for me. But I want to find my person, my people, and see what that turns into. And if it turns into something full-time, long-term, amazing. If it doesn't, I'll keep it as a side hustle.
I have a couple of thoughts on that. First of all, what's the population of Renworth?
It's reasonably small. It's a few thousand.
Okay.
I already know where Penny's going with this.
Yes, you do. The population of my town is 1,500, and from where I'm sitting right now, I can see my nail cabin. Well, I can't, it's through that wall, but literally out this window, I can see 3 other nail techs. So within sight of my nail cabin. And I don't know what your financial goals are or what you have to make to be comfortable, and I'm not going to ask you on a public podcast, but I work 18 hours a week in the nail cabin, and in that 18 hours, I would make easily $1,500. So I could double that and make more, but for me personally, I mean, I've got other, financial revenue streams and stuff, but $1,500 out of 18 hours of work, that's only doing $70 in an hour. And that is like, if you get your speed to a place where you're churning out a gel polish manicure with a feature nail in an hour, that's easily $70 an hour. And you've done what's $1,500? That's a $80,000 salary. So I won't ask you how that compares to your financial goals, but that is what you need. That is what is possible in a population half the size of yours. And I'm not doing crazy nail art. I'm not doing anything near what I'm capable of as a nail tech. I'm doing plain color, some nail art, some other stuff, but I'm just doing salon services. And the other thing I'll say about population concerns would be that, so in a town of, for me, 1,500, let's say half of them are women, just to stereotype the typical nail client. So we're down to 750. And then let's say that a third of those are children and a third of them don't give a shit. We're down to 247 people that are available in my town to get their nails, to be nail clients, right? However, doing 18 people a week and seeing them on, say, a 3-weekly cycle, I only need 54 of them to come to me. And that doesn't take into account that over half my clients don't come from my town. They drive to me, which is possible for you as well, because there's no reason why someone won't resonate with the doll's house more than they resonate with the person 2 doors down from their own house. And they'll drive to you. So I just want to start off by saying, don't limit yourself by those parameters, because what you tell yourself is the limit. If you tell yourself that it's going to be hard, it will be.
Yeah.
Mel, did you have anything to add?
I just knew where you were going to go with that, because I remember you telling me that when I lived where I used to live. And it's true. And I know, it's easy to say it and go, oh, but look at Penny, she's got this and that. But Penny was there one time too, like Penny's built that up as well from new, just like me, moved to a new place. And I think it's easy for me to relate to like you as well, Sheena, at the moment, because I'm starting from zero as well. So I can see, when it gets kind of overwhelming, but
yeah, it's that whole, I think it's a combination of that whole starting thing, starting from nowhere. Where's my first client coming from, other than my stepdaughter who loves to come get her nails done and will do so for free as long as I do them, and friends that will try and get free nails out of me because that's what they do. But it's like getting those first clients, and where are those going to come from? What is that going to look like? And then like, what happens if I lose that first client? Like, what if I can't actually keep them? What if, because it's been a while since I've trained and actually been doing nails on a regular basis, I've got to get my skill sets back up and get into that kind of thing. So there's a lot of fear there.
If you were able to get your skill set up when you knew nothing, you can get your skill set up now. And I will say as well, not to fuel the fire of fear, well, that's a lot of alliteration, but when you said, what if you can't keep that first client? I'm just going to say, you won't be able to. Statistically, they might come back a few times. They're then going to stop coming. Or they might not, but statistically, a lot of clients don't become regulars. That's okay.
We do have a lot of people sort of shopping around for nail techs here. It's quite a common thing on the local chat page. Like, we've been to this one, and we don't like these ones, or this is wrong with this one, or they're just not vibing with me. Like, who's next, kind of thing. So,
hey guys, Penny from the future here. Are you ready to take your salon to the next level? The Client Magnet is a free 5-day online coaching program by Monaco Nail Academy designed to help you attract and retain clients. With our comprehensive program, you'll learn proven techniques to grow your client base and keep your schedule packed. From expert marketing strategies to client retention secrets, we've got everything you need. Transform your salon and achieve the success you've always dreamed of. Join the Client Magnet today and start making your salon the go-to spot in town. Head to www.monaco.ac.nz/magnet.
So let's go with this, eh? So what are they looking for? This is what you need to find out. What are they looking for, and what didn't they like about those other places? Find out what they want and make that you.
Differentiate.
Yeah, and make that you. Of whatever's missing from those other places, it's me. I've got it. Come here.
Yeah.
Like, remember Jade was saying on a past podcast that someone came to her literally because she had better parking than the other person.
Yes.
Sometimes that's simple. Like, yeah. So I reckon you have to put a post up or something, or even message those people that you see commenting and say, like, what didn't you like about that place, or what are you missing that I can help with, or I don't know, do a poll.
What are you seeing in those posts? Are there gaps that you can already identify from what you've seen?
They're not being super specific. They're just kind of going, I don't like this person, or there does seem to be a little bit of a theme of availability. Like, they're not necessarily available at the times that these people want, and they are looking for closer to the times that I'm hoping to be able to make myself available. So hopefully that's going to work out a little bit. There's a lot of people here that, being in the wine industry, you work odd hours. You just do. And so people are often going to work at stupid o'clock in the morning, and then they're done sort of early enough in the afternoon that they can get home, do the family stuff, and then they're looking for appointments sort of from that 5 o'clock onwards when they've got some freedoms. There's or the reverse, they're starting late. So like, I do that. I have a shift where I start late on a Thursday. So I'm hoping between sort of when I get up on a Thursday morning and the 10 o'clock when I leave to go to work, that I can have a couple of clients that might fit the gaps that they've got. There seems to be, everyone here is kind of looking for natural nail health is a big buzz here. But I'm not entirely sure that they all understand what they mean when they say natural nail health and nail care and things like that. There's a few that It's like, oh, well, my extensions were a little bit thick, or this is like, there's ones that like they want builder, for example, but they want a big, thick, chunky builder because they've become accustomed to the idea that a thick layer of builder is what you're supposed to have. So it's, you have to kind of educate that that's actually not what you should be looking for.
If someone walks in and says that sort of thing to me, because it does happen, I will say to them, like, if you let me do it the way I want to do it this time, if you don't like it, or if they lift or anything like that, I'll do the next lot for free. Within the next 3 weeks, I'll do your nails again for free if you don't like this, if it's not strong enough. They'll always take me up on it because they think they're going to get a free redo, but they never get a free redo because I'm right.
Yeah.
Embrace it. If they know what they want, fuck it, give it to them. If they really, really are adamant.
Yeah. The nice thing is, too, a lot of the techs that are here, most of them don't do extensions and things, which I did train in. So that is a service that's there, which is helpful. It's good.
I think what might be the differentiator is that you aren't bitchy. Because the people who are seeking, like the people who are posting saying this didn't vibe or whatever, it sounds like there's a lot of people who are being very vocal, including the 2 nail techs that you referenced, who are having a public spat that in a small town everybody knows about. There's a lot of like cattiness happening publicly in your neighborhood. Not everybody is catty in your neighborhood. So
no,
wherever,
and I can't stand cattiness. So.
No, exactly. So wherever the people are that can't stand cattiness, they are also looking at those pages you're looking at and going, ugh, I hate that. Ooh, yuck. I wouldn't go to that place because of that, or I wouldn't listen to what she said because look at her attitude. There are going to be people and they're not posting because they're not catty.
They're looking at it, they're not commenting, they're not joining in.
Yeah. And they are going to be just hanging out for you to be open. So because you will so quickly gain a reputation amongst those people. The second someone can go like, oh, I went to the new lady and she's actually so nice. Or Sheena, because it's a small town, so they probably all know your name. But like, I went to Sheena and she's working now and it was just such a breath of fresh air. It's not like being at the other place. Like, you're going to get such a reputation for just not being an asshole.
Yeah. And it's like, just from that conversation on your socials, you want to be posting about your availability, your knowledge. So let's inform those people about why builder doesn't need to be thick and why it's good for your natural nails, all that stuff that they want. And also competition free zone.
Yeah.
Give them that sense of like, I'm not like those people. I want you to do well as well. You know, like, let's support each other. None of that bullshit.
And just a complete celebration of things, like in your socials, posting about a client tells you that their kid is competing at school sports, and it's like, good luck to everybody doing school sports, or like, just that so-and-so said that they got engaged, celebrate it. So-and-so said they got a promotion, celebrate it. Like, that's going to differentiate you if you are publicly showing that you are someone who lifts other people up. You don't have to say anything about any of the other salons or any of the other people. You just have to be lifting and celebrating, and they will read between the lines.
Yeah.
Because everyone else sounds is very quick to publicly air their grievances.
Yeah. And you don't want those people.
No, I don't think I could sit across the table for any length of time with a person like that in my salon these days. Been around there. I can't do that anymore. So
yeah, they're the kind of people that go to the warehouse and complain and then go to Kmart. Like, the same. Like,
exactly what they are.
It's you that's miserable, not them. Like, be quiet.
So you're saying that you really want to zero in on your avatar, but I think we actually are. We've skipped like age and gender and all that sort of stuff, but we have gone straight to a very specific type of person that you're wanting to attract. So if we add an ideal age, how old is your avatar?
See, I find that question really hard. Like, I've got two types. There's like the ones that are, I've got a bunch of friends that are in that sort of 40 to 50 category. They've got disposable income. Like they're like the dream sort of people. They've been through the shit. They're career people. They just want to go and get treated. They don't want to bitch about things. They just want to go and have some time for themselves. And then you've got the ones like my sister, who's slightly younger than me at 35, who has sort of gone through her younger days, her 20s, of being able to spend whatever she wanted on doing whatever she wanted. And now she's got a young kid and she's figuring out life again and trying to treat herself. And again, similar situation, doesn't want to have the negative stuff around. They just want a safe zone to just go and.
And in your town, are there more of your sister or more of the friends that you were talking about?
They're probably more closer to the friends I was talking about.
Okay, then forget your sister. Sorry, sister, you're out. And you said that they're 50s?
They're late 40s. Yeah, late 40s, early 50s. Yeah.
So 48. How does that feel as an age for your avatar?
I think I was thinking somewhere between sort of 45, and you got 45 and 50, so 48 works.
Cool. So I think one thing with avatars is it's really, really important to get extremely specific, because even though you think like, but 45 to 50, that's fine. However, you don't look at anyone and think like they are somewhere between blonde and brunette. Like, no, everybody is a finite person. They are what they are. And for the way that avatar marketing works to work, you have to have an idea in your head of a fake human being, an avatar, who is real to you in your head, so that when you're marketing, you can speak to them, you can like write your captions for them, you can post pictures they will like. And if you think of them as 45 to 50 and their job is roughly this and their schedule is roughly that, you lose grip on being able to speak directly to a person. You're now speaking to a group of people, and we don't want that. We want a specific person. So even though it sounds silly to narrow down an age, the second we say she's 48, all of the 45, 46, 47, 49, and 50, they all drop off. And you are now thinking of someone so much more specific than you were 30 seconds ago.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, like, just because we're saying your avatar, who, by the way, you would give a name. So my avatar, her name is Juno Wilder.
Cool name.
Yeah.
She's a cool person too.
Yeah. Just because she's 48 for you doesn't mean if someone goes, oh, I'm 49, I want to book in, you go, no.
Yeah.
Right age. It just means this is your target, and the other 48, 49, 50-year-olds and the 40, 41-year-olds, they're just here. They're just slightly off target. But you still take them. So the saying is, if you put a drawing pin on your wall that's 48 and you throw a plate of spaghetti at the pin, all these people around here are spaghetti. So they're still your people. They're just not quite.
Just because you aim for the drawing pin doesn't mean the person next to the drawing pin still doesn't get spaghetti on them.
Yeah. So they're still your people, but you really do want to hone in. So my avatar, she has a name, she has a job, she has a family. We even did like their schedule and everything in the accelerator.
In the magnet, which you can do for free.
Yeah.
monaco.ac.nz/magnet.
Yeah. And this is how we go. Like, whenever I post on social media, I'm thinking about, I'm talking to her.
Yeah.
And where she is. Yeah. It gets really detailed. So yeah, try and hone in. And I know it's easy to go, oh, she's a mum, but a mum of how many? How old are they? Like, really try and hone it in. I know it's hard because it is hard and it feels weird, but once you get into it, like, I can see my avatar now, and yeah.
And it works. Like, the easiest way to, I think, try and identify with it when me and Mel start sounding cuckoo lala, the easiest way to try and identify with it is if you were sending a DM to me or a DM to your sister about the same thing. You got a cat. The way you wrote it to me and the way you write it to your sister are going to be so incredibly different, even though we are within a couple of years of age of each other. We're both female. We both have knowledge of small towns. We're both professionals. Like, me and your sister have a lot in common, but the way you write to us, totally different. But the thing is, also, I am not Mel's avatar, but when I see her humor and her relatability in her posts, she's still going to get my attention, but
Yeah.
she's aiming at that person. And so you want to have this specific thing in mind. It also takes a lot of decision fatigue and a lot of just like thought process out of day-to-day life. Like Mel says, she can see her avatar. So when she writes a caption, she's not thinking, how do I write something that is going to resonate with both Penny and my sister? She's thinking, I'm just going to write to Juno, and then anyone else is going to either like it or not. But Juno, that specific person we're aiming for, will like it. The same way that if my best friend sends me a message, guaranteed I'm going to laugh or have the correct reaction. Whereas if someone who I don't communicate with as well or as frequently sends me a message about the same thing, might be funny, but I also might not resonate with it. So we need to get down to that nitty gritty and take the decision making out so that you're just messaging a specific person. So she's 48. What's her name?
Natalie.
Perfect. Natalie's 48 and she hates cattiness. She's just looking for some fucking peace and quiet so that she can get her nails done. Yeah, she's seen a bunch of stuff around town and she's just over it, and you're a breath of fresh air.
Yeah,
pretty much.
Is she a parent? Is that what she's trying to like?
She is a parent, but she is a parent of a older kid, a 20-year-old, basically. 20-year-old.
Okay.
Moved out of home, doing his own thing, but she's a very family orientated person. She still talks to him most days, talks to her mum and dad most days, her sister, they're all kind of around each other.
Does she have a partner, or does she live alone, or does she have flatmates?
She has a husband, and it's just the two of them in the house with her two lovely dogs, and she works insanely hard as an account manager.
And does she live in your town or outside of your town?
She's actually slightly outside of my town, as in a 20-minute drive.
Perfect.
Because I figure where I am in Renwick, it's about 15. So where I work in town is about 20 minutes drive from my place. I go through Blenheim to the outskirts to where I work. So if I'm prepared to do that, there's got to be other people out there that will do it.
And people will do it no matter what when they find their nail tech. One thing that we're very, that I blather on about in the accelerator is that we're selling relationships, not services. You are not a nail tech. You are a person who does nails, and you're selling a relationship with yourself. You're not, people don't go to a nail tech because they do nails. If that's what they want, they go to the one in the mall or the closest thing to it. If they actually want to sit and relax and have that experience that to them feels worth their money, they are buying a relationship with you just as much as they are buying the end result of getting a service done.
Yeah. I guess the thing to remember, it's no different to like hairdressers and things. My hairdresser took time off to have kids. She's come back. I followed her to a whole new salon. If I think about it, like I'd go to her for her, not.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's about her, not what she's doing or where she's working.
Nails is almost more than hair because it's more frequent. So you're actually asking to spend more time with them than a hairdresser. Even though it's more time in one go, with a hairdresser, they disappear while your hair's processing, like stuff like that. So it is an important relationship, but nails is an extremely intimate relationship, sitting face to face, less than a meter away, holding hands for an hour every 2 to 3 weeks. That's an extremely intimate relationship you're asking for, because there's no one else you would do that with that wasn't your partner or a like sick relative.
That's very true.
So it's really important in your socials that you are showing that personality and who you are to Natalie.
Yeah, and don't worry about like, oh, but what if Linda down the road doesn't like it? Fuck Linda, she's not your avatar. Like, you're speaking to your avatar. That's what I think when I post, you know, oh, if people get offended, too bad, because you're not Juno.
Yeah. And you can think of it as eliminating people you don't want. Mel doesn't want to do offended Linda's nails. She would hate it. So by being what Linda might consider offensive in her social media, Mel is effectively choosing she's eliminating Linda from having to sit with her.
Yeah.
Not having Linda in my seat, it leaves room for Juno, right? So then what
Yeah.
I was going to say was, so now you know that she works really hard and she's got travel time. Then this leads into like what availability you can have that's going to suit her schedule. Yeah. So we go in the magnet, we go right into creating like a daily schedule for them. So you can figure out what's going to suit her. Like maybe those early morning appointments would suit Natalie.
Yeah.
I think she would prefer late night. Like, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, in my mind, Natalie she's got availability to travel, but she obviously has to still balance that with life. And during the day, she's working and focusing on whatever. But when she gets home, she's like, right, I need this time. I'm going to this event. She loves to dress up for events. She plans her outfits weeks in advance. She's one of those really super fun, organized people in that respect. And so she'll say to hubby, look, I need to go and get my nails done for my event. I'm going now based on what works for us.
But if she's super social, then we want her to be a regular, but she's probably got an event every 3 weeks.
Exactly.
Yeah. Hey guys, Future Penny here again. Just a super quick interruption to let you know that if you head to monaco.ac.nz/subscribe, not only can you sign up to our weekly newsletter, but you'll also get a free video lesson from our course, The Art of Pigments. That's monaco.ac.nz/subscribe. So we can dial down more into the work of the magnet, which is taking your avatar and finding out where she is and attracting her very specifically. But I think that there's a step before that for you specifically, which is this like mental block of being available to her. Because Mel and I could teach you how to build a client magnet and get the client coming. But right now, how does she book with you? So you said that the cabin is on the ground and good to go, right? Can you do a client right now? Like, is there a desk and all your colors and all your things?
Everything is there. Everything's set up. I could literally pop home right now and do a client. But other than a message through Facebook or Insta or a face-to-face message, they don't actually have any way of booking with me.
Okay. So
they don't even know I'm open for business.
So you do have socials though, eh?
Sorry?
You do have socials up and going.
I do, yeah.
So
yeah. I've just been really slack and not using them.
Okay. So step 1, let them know you're open and available, right?
Yeah.
Either a post of your face, which is what I would do. Like, hi everybody, I'm Sheena, I'm back.
Or even just act like you are always open. Either or.
I secretly thought about doing that, like not making a big deal of like being open, that I was never sitting there for 3 years waiting to do something. And it was like, actually, I'm just a little best kept secret that you didn't know about. I'm just quietly here, might have a little bit of space for you.
So step 1, which what Mel's saying, is just becoming visible. Yeah. You're either doing an intro post and saying you're open, or you're going to start posting regularly, or both, really. But you post regularly just acting like you were always there to start with. And you can do both or you can do either. But becoming visible is the number one thing so that they know you're there. And I don't want you to think about what to post. I just want you to post. Like, if you go look at Mel's social media, which is Jungle Nails NZ, you will see that in October, I think, maybe it was November, she posted a picture of a mop. Literally a picture of a mop.
I did see that.
Of course you did, because how memorable is it and how funny is she? And there was no nails in the picture. There was no Mel in the picture. There was no salon in the picture. There was a mop.
There was.
But you remember it and I remember it. And now we're talking about it. And now at least someone listening to this is heading off to her page to go see this famous mop.
It is a good mop.
But the thing is, Juno would have been like, fuck yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what you're posting. You just need to be posting. And it can be a throwback to nails you did 3 years ago. It can be a post about how far you've come. It can be a singular tip that you have painted like in 5 minutes. polka dots and you put it in on a cool background, and who gives a shit? Someone will see it. At first, your engagement is going to probably suck, although sometimes when you post the first time, you get a bit of a boost of people being like, oh, I haven't seen her in a while. But in theory, it'll take a little while to pick up engagement, but that's okay because you weren't there to see before, so you have to get back in front of them.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, once you're visible, they need to be able to book, and you need to be able to remove all obstacles to booking. So if people don't know you and don't want to text and they just want to look at the prices and stuff, do you have a price list?
No, that's my next target, is to actually finish the how to set your prices thing, because I started the spreadsheet and never finished it.
Cool.
So
Okay.
first step is to finish that and get my pricing.
What are you planning to use to manage your bookings? Are you going to do an online booking system, a notebook? What are you going to do?
I was thinking of an online system. It just works for me better. I live in the digital world these days. So
I'm glad you said that. So I'm going to use Frisher as an example because that's what I use, but I'm not trying to like hashtag not a sponsor, like do what you like. But I would say more important than how to set your prices, which I would never put very much above that because I think everybody should do it. But more important than how to set your prices, I would say you just need to sign up for Frisher. Get your account open, put a couple of photos up there, put your prices up off the top of your head because you have no clients. So they're not going to complain when you put them up in 10 minutes time when you've done how to set your prices. Just get over that hurdle where if anybody Googling you or seeing your socials wants to book, they can. Because you're right now they have to either DM you or call you. And some people will. But 90% of my bookings are from people booking themselves in via online booking. So if you, and actually in the accelerator, it's crazy how many people are like doing bits and pieces like this, and then how many people have had random people book in just because they found them, because suddenly they're visible. And these accelerator students, as far as they're concerned, they weren't ready to have clients or they hadn't done enough to get clients, but look at that, they've got one. So I would say, sneaky while you're still at work this afternoon, you just set Frisher up and put in roughly what you think your prices might be, and stop letting how to set your prices be a hurdle between you and starting. Because you've got a desk, you've got product, you've got a cabin with a door, and you've got chairs. You only need someone in the seat. And you are started.
That is my missing ingredient, the person in the seat.
So the easiest way to get a person in the seat is to show them there is a seat. People love to sit. So if you open up Frisher literally this afternoon and then add an online booking link to your social media, and when you post, you say like link in bio, or there's some other stuff you could do, but for now that's the easiest, to say there's a link in your bio to book online, and you are open. You don't have to be afraid of it anymore. The second that you sign up for Frisher this afternoon, you're open. You did it.
Yeah, you've done that step. Yeah,
you did it. You're open. You are running a business, and then you really quickly learn to swim.
That the funny thing is that's sort of how I am. It's like I learned to swim once I've done that step, but I've just got to do that step. So
what are your thoughts, Mel?
That's what I mean. Like you just said, Sheena, once you do it, you'll just go with it, and then you'll start posting, and then someone will book in, and then you'll post them, and they'll tell a friend, and it'll just flow. But you just have to just get over the fear. It is scary, I know, because like I said, I'm in the same position. And I was just saying on the podcast, I don't know, a few episodes ago, that my first paying client here just came out of nowhere. Like, I didn't know her. She never met me or anything. She just messaged me and booked, all because I was just, she saw me somewhere. So
the algorithm is a wonderful thing.
Yeah, just get your name out there, and just post whatever, even if it is you saying, I can't be the only one that does everything else, like mopping my floor, than what I actually should be doing.
The second you have Frisher, you are Googleable, and people on the Frisher app can choose, I want a manicure near me, and you'll pop up. So you're now on Google and a search engine.
So it immediately makes you so much more accessible than
So much more.
Than what I am now with nothing, really. Yeah.
I would say you've got a rough idea of your avatar, and I would love for you to do the client magnet and zero in on your avatar, and it's free. And monaco.ac.nz/magnet. I think the magnet would be really helpful for you because I don't want to spend our whole time together just zeroing in on your avatar. I think we have a clear enough idea of her that we can run with some ideas that are unique to you and your situation, and you can go do the magnet to zero in on your avatar separately. So other than the magnet, we have a clear idea of your avatar. Step 1, sign up for Fresher. Put some arbitrary prices in there that are good enough for even just gel manicure, gel pedicure, full set of extensions. Doesn't have to be much right now. Just get Fresher open. Number 2, add the link to your socials.
Yeah.
And then number 3, start posting mops. It's just start posting. The magnet takes you through some really high value ways of attracting your avatar in very face-to-face, like very strong ways. The opposite of that really is social media, but it is like the other half of the puzzle. So just posting is going to start getting momentum, and it gives you momentum as well. I would say that rather than making you overthink posting, I literally want you just to be posting anything. A throwback, a selfie, your drive to work, the salon, anything at all. But the one thing I do want you to think of when you're posting is the first 5 words of your caption. So we joke a lot about on the podcast and Accelerator and with Mel about pink nails for summer, because that is the default when people cannot be fucked thinking of a caption. They're like, I love pink for summer. Red and green, so classic for Christmas. Aren't round nails so cool right now? I don't care. I don't give a shit. If I see a picture of a mop, you have to make it interesting for me. So you will see that Mel's caption, you're immediately like, what the fuck is this? You look at the caption and she draws you in. Hannah, what's Hannah's one? Nails by Hannah Klingen. She has great captions as well. And you don't have to aspire to be freaking comedians like these tarts, but you do need a really good first 5. And when I say first 5, I don't mean you necessarily have to count to 5. There are some what we would call first 5s that are actually a great first 2 or a great first 7. But it's when you see the picture has piqued your interest enough for you to be like, what is this? And glance to the caption. That first 5 words has to then be enough to get me to keep reading. Because unless I keep reading, I'm not getting to know you, and I'm not getting to form that first steps of a relationship with you where I eventually end up wanting to give you my money.
We're trying to create the old know. So let them get to know you, and then they're going to learn to like you. And then following on from that, you're going to earn their trust through all your different posts, like showing your personality, showing your education, your qualification, like your space, your hygiene routine. All that stuff is going to create the trust. And then they'll be invested, like Penny said, to read your stuff. And you can start to form that relationship. Like the mop one, I just looked it up. My caption says, okay, I know you're all thinking, why is this clown posting a picture of a mop? Because I know if I saw that, I would say, why the hell is she posting a photo of a
That's exactly
mop?
what I thought when I saw it. What the hell are you doing posting a picture of a mop?
But then listen to the caption though, like, okay, I know. You can hear Mel talking.
Yeah.
Caption. Keep going.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah. No, that's what I was just going to say. Like when I'm posting stuff like that, I try and think what Juno would say. And even one of the new clients, I posted a photo of one of my old clients who was missing a finger. And everyone who ever sees it goes, oh, I wonder if she gets a discount. So I literally put that in the caption and said, like, a running joke, does she get a discount? Can you see why? And that client said, it was so funny because my daughter saw the photo and asked, I wonder if she gets a discount. I was like, yeah, I know. Like, it's like Penny always says, it's like I already knew what you were thinking, because you start to get to, understand who's looking at it and what they're thinking.
When you post, just type a caption, whatever you want, and then go back to the first 5. Because maybe you'll be different, but for me personally, and I know like the key is absolutely what Mel's been saying, to just speak to Natalie. But when you're on a day where you're like, I don't know what to say, just write your caption, get something out there. It will probably say pink nails for summer, and then go back to the first 5 and just punch it up. So don't I know if I sit there stressing, thinking I've got to make it sound good at the start, then all that goes through my head is I love pink nails for summer, because there's too much pressure. Yeah. So I will just write a caption and be like, this is something you can say, something, your caption doesn't even have to relate. I mean, it does if it's a mop, but like you can be something funny that happened at work today, something silly that your stepkid did, something endearing that your husband said, like something like Jade makes so much engagement for Monaco by just telling us every time she spills shit. Like anything funny, endearing, relatable. So you start to, when you get into a habit of posting regularly, you start to like live your life walking around being like, fuck, that's content. And so like anything that happens, like you're driving to work and you have to slam on your brakes for some idiot that pulls in front of you, done. That's today's caption. It's just going to be like, anyone else have a near miss on the way to work? Like, this is what happened to me on my drive. And then you're going to go back to the first 5 and make it punchier.
Damn it, I missed a great opportunity. My windscreen actually got smashed in the process of getting the beams to put under that doll's house. I should have done something with that.
That's not a missed opportunity. It still happened.
I need to see if I've taken a photo of that. Lost opportunity there, though.
Google a photo of a smashed windshield and use it and put your caption in there. Nobody's going to know it's not your windshield.
This is true. This is true.
Or pull the car in front of the cabin, take a photo of both of them and be like, one of these things smashed the other one. Want to guess? Nothing is a missed opportunity. You can always use it.
Yeah, and just stay. I think like my advice to people with social media is just stay yourself, like don't try and promote. Like I don't promote that, oh, I always have makeup on and I'm always together, because this is what I look like most of the time. And if I promote that I'm not that and someone comes and sits in my chair and sees this, they're going to be like, what is this?
We need a description of this because it's a podcast.
Oh, so, well, if you follow us, you'll see that usually I haven't had a haircut for the past 6 months. I don't put makeup on. I don't wear fancy clothes. Like I'm sitting in a basketball singlet at the moment. Like, so I don't promote on my socials that I'm put together all the time and that I wear makeup and fancy clothes, because I don't. So I don't want, I guess you don't want to set them up to come and have a completely different experience in person than what you're portraying online. So make sure you like stay true to Sheena.
It's like how we swear in moderation on this podcast, because if we were prim and proper on the podcast and then you sign up to study with us and we're people that look like toes, like then you're going to be like, this is not what you sold me. Like I thought you were going to be like bougie beauty people, and we're going to be like, no, we are professional toes.
Yeah. So my whole point was just make sure you just stay true to Sheena, don't try and do anything other than you. Yeah.
I guess the nice thing is if that's what you're doing too, I guess it takes a little bit of that pressure away too, because you're not actually trying to, I think that's where I've kind of had a roadblock previously, is like I'm trying to post and be something that I think people want to see me be, not necessarily just who I am. Like, fuck it, let's just be me. And
life is so much easier if you just embrace toe life.
Oh, so much easier.
You don't have to pretend anything.
I'd much rather just be me. It's good. Great advice.
Yeah.
There's an episode from a few months ago with Keita from Beauty Bestie, and we talked about this, and she was saying like that I can't remember the word she used, but she curates everything and she stops herself from posting sometimes because it's not perfect, and she almost like envies, but envy wasn't the word she used, the fact that we just post no makeup and a hoodie. She was like, I wish I could do that, but I've built a brand where I feel like I have to maintain this image of perfection now. And so you look at something like her socials and her website and everything is all pristine and curated and perfect. And we're looking at that being like, should we be like that? Like, that looks so pretty. Are we doing it wrong? Well, she's looking at us being like, oh, I wish I was confident enough to go on socials with no makeup and a hoodie. So
Yeah. We were like, oh, she's going to be so boring. Like, she's so prim and proper and boring. But actually, she was so fun and so relatable. Yeah. So it comes back to that same thing. Like, just be Sheena and let them see you. And if it's for them, it's for them. So, cool. I don't want to sit across with someone that doesn't like swearing or, because, that's not me.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Stay true to Sheena, I guess, is the message.
Penny from the future popping in just quickly to remind you that if you want more bookings in Salon, you can join our free marketing workshop, The Client Magnet, at monaco.ac.nz/magnet. So we're going to open up Fresher this afternoon.
Yes, we are. We're going to get this done.
Yes, we are. Mel and I are going to keep you accountable. Are you in a job where you can literally do it this afternoon in between work? Okay, cool.
Yes, I can.
So what time do you finish work this evening?
I finish, Wednesday? I will be finished by 5 p.m. tonight. It will be done by 5 p.m.
Alrighty. So by 5 p.m. you're going to send me and Mel a screenshot of your Fresher.
It'll be done.
So that, yeah. And then you're going to add the link to your bio. I think that right now you should aim to be posting on socials once a day. And that is not necessarily always my advice. It is not what we're necessarily recommending in the accelerator. What we're saying in the accelerator is more like what you're capable of maintaining is what you should be planning around. The difference here is I'm asking you not to plan. I'm asking you to just get over a mental hoop where for the next month, you post every day. And I don't give a shit what you post. I just want you to post something from your real life. It will slowly have more and more nails in it. It will slowly have more and more time in the cabin. You can also batch photos of the cabin, so you can go in there and take a bunch of photos. People will, like, if you take a close-up of your brush caddy, a close-up of the view out, like of some other angle of the desk, a view of what you see, a view of what they see, like, just go in and get 20 photos of the cabin, and then every third or fourth one you've already got stacked up. Go get a bunch of photos of your backyard and your neighborhood. You've got all these photos stacked up. Every time you go get a coffee at a cafe, you take 3 different angles with 3 different backgrounds. You've got 3 pieces of content. And then eventually there will be more and more nails in that as well. But if you just for a month post every single day, and the only thing that you actually have to put thought into is trying to slowly make the first 5 better and better each time. Sometimes they'll suck and you're just going to do pink nails for summer because it's either that or you don't post. But tomorrow you try to do a better first 5. But if you get into the habit of posting every day, it will change the mindset so that you believe you are open. Yeah. Because if I say to you, I'd like you to plan a bunch of content and don't worry about doing it every day, you can just do 3 times a day. You're not even in the habit of being a business owner yet, let alone trying to remember Monday, Wednesday, and Friday you have to post. Whereas if every day you wake up and go, at some point today, I have to take a photo of something and tell a story about what happened today, no matter how dumb or how moppy it is, you're going to start getting into that rhythm of just being open. And that, like, I'm all for the woo-woo, but not even in a woo-woo way. That energy is going to change everything that's happening around you. Like, you literally get back what you send out. So if you're putting out there, well, I am open because I'm posting every day and my fresher is there, and at the bottom of every post it says book online, link in bio, things will just start happening. And if you're hoping that, like you're going to be able to be 12 hours fully booked this year sometime, everything starts rolling. You have to do something to start the momentum.
And you'll actually like learn to love it. Like I love my social media now. There was a point where I hated it when I think I was trying to create something that wasn't me, but now that I'm just like, you know what, fuck it. I love it. I love the days because like Penny said, I knew because I wasn't doing many clients, I can only consistently post 3 times a week. So I cut it back. So I can keep that like illusion that I'm busy. But some of them are actually photos from a couple of years ago that I've just gone back and resaved and resharing. And I'm not really saying like, oh, these are old photos. It's just consistency. So
I do have piles and piles of photos that I've been taking of like everything with this grand intention of using them. But I think I just psyched myself out with this whole idea of trying to curate something that's just not I wasn't vibing with, so I couldn't do it. You just get a mental block constantly.
I mean, we got onto the topic in Accelerator one time about people not wanting to repeat content too close together. And then everybody, like Mel referenced, like even earlier this hour, Mel referenced like, oh, we can't be like Penny or whatever, however you phrased it. Well, when the second we scrolled my Instagram, Penny posts repeat content all the time. Sometimes literally one after the other because I forgot to move it into the used folder and I reposted it the next day. And guess what? Penny's still Penny. Penny's still paying her bills. So like, it's such a level of you don't need to overthink. The cogs will still turn. No one dies when you repeat content. No one dies when a photo was from 2 years ago. No one dies when you say pink nails for summer. You just get more engagement if you don't.
So yeah, when you say you want to be 12 hours fully booked, one thing in the magnet that we talk about is having a SMART goal. So SMART's an acronym, so it's SMART. So the first one on SMART is specific. So you want to set yourself a like specific time of when you want to reach this goal, right? Not just like, oh, in the next couple of years. Like, no, by Christmas this year, by 25th of December, or whenever you feel like you can achieve it. Make it specific. Make it specific. And then the next one is M, which is measurable. So how are you going to like keep track of it and measure?
That's a pretty nice, easy one because the measure is 12 clients a week.
Yeah, so you need to have some, if you use Fresher, then you'll be able to see it really easily. If not, have something set up where you can track it. And then A is achievable. So you can achieve it, easy peasy. It's not like unrealistic. Like for me, like just for context, like it would be unachievable for me to work a 40-hour week doing nails because I just don't have the time.
And it would be unachievable to have 12 clients a week within 2 weeks.
Make it realistic, I guess. And then what's R? Realistic.
So the R is relevant. So it's relevant to your actual goals. But that ties in, Sheena, with you saying how you thought that you needed to be a certain image that people wanted you to be. SMART goals are ones that are like, fuck what everyone else is doing. This is actually pushing you to your goal.
Okay. And then T is timely. So that's like Penny was saying, like, you're not going to reach this goal within 2 weeks. So, don't set yourself up to fail. Like, let's make it a decent time for you to actually achieve the goal. And yeah, like client magnet, it takes you through all the steps. Like we talked about Avatar, what her life is like. Next thing you would do is create a schedule. So then you know where she is, right? So I know for my Avatar Juno, there's no point in me posting at 10 or 11 a.m. because she's busy. She's working mum life. And then there's no point me posting at 5, 6, 7 p.m. because she's, again, busy with her kids, dinner, whatever, So for your avatar, you figure out where they are. Then you post at that time to get their attention. But then also you want to figure out how you get not only like them to know about you, but how do you get your work physically in front of them? Like for me, everyone jokes on the podcast that I've like infiltrated the system because Juno's like this creative being who runs like a vintage clothing store. And I literally got a job at a fabric store. So how I got my work in front of her is by having my nails done physically in front of her. And then I have a little keyring in my pocket with my mug on it with my QR code. So whenever anyone says, "Who did your nails?" I pull out this funny little keyring and say, "Actually, me. Here's a QR code to my page."
That's such a cool idea there.
I know. It just sort of felt like I didn't intentionally go, "I'm going to get a job here." It just sort of fell into place. But so yeah, once you figure out where she is, then we can figure out not only how to get her aware of you, but how she can see your work on actual people. And then that starts that conversation, which then leads her your way.
And the magnet like guides you through exactly how to do this, but this is sort of like an overview of what the next step would be for you.
Yeah, very specific. And it is one step at a time sort of thing, because a lot of us were like, "Oh my God, this is like overwhelming." But when you do it one step at a time, it just starts to flow and make sense, and it just it'll flow for you. So yeah, I definitely think you should do the magnet.
So by what date, Sheena, are you gonna have an average? Let's say, should we start with 8 clients a week as to get the achievable?
I think that's a great idea. Yeah.
So it is specific. You want to start with 8 clients a week. It's measurable because we can count them. It's achievable because it's not 40. It's relevant to your goals. Fuck everybody else. The last thing is T. When are you going to have done that by?
I don't know how long it takes to get that kind of thing together.
You only have to convert 24 people, 8 times 3 weekly.
See, my brain goes to 6 months because that just seems...
That's what I wanted to say too. So that works.
6 months seems like a reasonably achievable time frame to get my fresher up and running by the end of today and then take those steps.
Yeah.
Yeah, and keep in mind you do have another job and, other commitments. You can't just be like, right, I'm just closing the office door and I'm in here forever now.
That's the thing. If I didn't have my job and other responsibilities, 3 months might be more realistic, but I think 6 months is realistic in this instance.
I think if you have fresher up and running today, if you spend the next month posting every single day, no matter what it is, and if you tie it all together by doing the magnet, because the magnet, you are building what we call a magnet, and it is a client magnet. It is attracting clients to you. So the whole point of the client magnet is that it is a literal tool you build for your business that attracts clients. So fresher is how they get there. The posting on socials is how you become visible, and you do the magnet so that you also have that specific tool dragging clients towards you. I think with those 3 things combined, you could absolutely have 8 clients a week within 6 months.
You'll definitely be on your way.
Let's do this. Let's get this done.
And you'll be open this afternoon, because as soon as you have fresher, someone could book.
By 5 p.m. today, I'm officially open.
Yeah.
Open. And then if someone messages and you're working for the next few days, you say, "The next available appointment I have is next Thursday at 5 p.m. You don't have to be like, "Oh, I can't fit you in," or blah, 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 "I'm working." You just say, "My next available spot."
This was really fun. What the heck? I don't know about you guys, but I've just had a great time.
That's fun.
It's been so much fun.
I feel like it could be so much longer.
100%. But what I was going to say is, Sheena, would you come back in like 6 weeks? Yeah, I was going to say 3 or 6 weeks.
I can do that.
And
do a little update.
Yeah.
I can do that.
Let's keep the momentum going and let's hold you accountable. I just think, me and Mel will be here waiting and we'll be like, all right, how did you find the magnet? And how is your fresher? And you'll have no choice but to have done it, because otherwise we might cry. And you don't want that.
We don't want that, no.
And just, make new goals.
Yeah,
then,
keep this momentum going. And if anyone listening wants to do something similar to Sheena and get some like specific coaching with us, just hit us up in the comments, or however you can find us in a lot of ways. Mel, do you have one final piece of advice for Sheena before we wrap this up?
Not really advice. I just think, yay, I'm proud of you, Sheena. I could tell when you popped in, you were like, "Oh my gosh, what have I got myself in for?" now you're like excited, and I'm excited for you. And also next time we can check out your socials and help with the like captions and anything like that too next time. So yeah, it's cool. I'm
Well, I will
excited for
say
you.
that I'm really proud of you, Mel. There's so many times in this episode, like when I asked you to work with me and Sheena, you were like, I don't know how I can help. And then you have just so instinctively rattled off all this shit that you did not know 6 months ago. And now you just understand it from the back of your hand. And there's multiple times where I was just like watching you talk, like, oh, she's so good.
Because I had to take the same advice. That's why. That's what I mean. Like I was in the same spot. Like I had all the stuff given to me and told to me. So let's carry it on and create this fucking
Yeah.
cool community.
You guys are both treasures. With that done and dusted, before you disappear, like our page or follow the podcast so that you don't miss the next episode. We'll be back next week. And Mel, what are we covering?
Okay, so next episode we're covering what we kind of touched on here, which is know, like, and trust. How we create that and get our clients to, well, allow them to get to know us and then create the like, and then we earn their trust, and then that translates to their bums in our seat.
I'm so excited. I love Know, Like, and Trust. So until then, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube by searching Monaco Nail Academy or follow our salons. Mine is Hard Lacquer NZ.
Mine is Jungle Nails NZ, and Sheena
is the Doll's House Nail Studio,
which will be full of content if you go and follow it.
Yeah. Woohoo!
Have a great week, guys. We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Yeah.
How fun, Sheena. Thank you so much.
Thank you for letting me be on here.